welcome to Wednesday Night Live. I am your host, Larry Schrodes, and I pastor in the beautiful frozen city of Tampa, Florida. That's right. It is absolutely cold here. We have some chaos going on. We live in Florida. Now, for all of you who are going to criticize me and say, hey, how cold can it possibly be? You know, I have friends who are like in stuff called wind chill factors. We don't know what wind chill factors are, so don't come with your highfalutin weather forecasting abilities down here. But it is like in the 40s. It is cold. I have to wear a jacket. It's cold. There was white stuff on my ground when I walked out. It's just insane. And so pray for us. Pray that someone turns the outdoor thermostat back up in the 70s or 80s where it belongs, not in the 40s. So I hope you're warm wherever you're at. We're going to have a great night tonight. Hey, I just want to start by saying thank all of you for praying for myself and my family at the loss of my dad. Let's see, people are posting amen about the weather, and some people are saying loving the cold. I don't know who you are, but I pray for you. Our altars are always open. No, it's not bad. It's not bad, especially if you can stay bundled up under blankets and whatnot. But anyhow, we are so glad that you're here tonight. And I was just saying, thank you so much for praying for my family at the loss of my father. My inbox and my Facebook walls and all my social media has blown up with your love and support. And I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I know that I've not gotten back to everyone who's reached out to me. I have so many voice messages and texts and things, and it has been overwhelming, but I just thank you so much for your love and support. It has shown me the support network that I have, and all of you help make my life so much better, and thank you for that. Tonight, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about coping with grief. I know it's kind of really relevant to what's going on in me. So we're going to talk about that in just a couple of moments. So tell somebody about it. Maybe you know somebody that needs some help, and we're going to talk about that tonight on Wednesday Night Live. Hey, welcome back to Wednesday Night Live. I am your host, Pastor Larry Schrodes, and I pastor in the beautiful city of Tampa, Florida. And tonight we're talking about coping with grief. And as most of you may or may not know, my father passed away Saturday. And, a lot of people have been reaching out and saying things to us and saying things to our family. Please be praying for my mom. I know she's watching even now. Continue to pray for her. Her whole world is turned upside down. A lot of changes, a lot of transition that's going to be taking place in her life. But we know that God has surrounded her and love her in an incredible way. And thank you again for all of your notes and encouragements to myself and our family. I know for my kids, this is the first grandparent that they've lost. So some of this is new to them. And we're just going through just different things. And, sometimes when we go through grief, we don't know where to turn, or we don't know how to cope with that. So tonight, I just want to give you 7 things to remember when dealing with loss. These are 7 things that you can think of as you're going through grief and loss. And at the beginning of this, I want to say, if you live in the Tampa area and you are going through grief, you've lost a family member, you've lost a loved one, you've lost someone really close to you, you need to contact our grief share leader, Leanne Madden. And they meet, there's like 4 sessions throughout the year on Tuesday nights. You can contact her, and she will be able to tell you when their next sessions begin. And I know it is a wonderful ministry. But let me give you 7 things. And again, this isn't an exhaustive list. There might be other things that you can do, but here's 7 things kind of to point you in the right direction. Number 1, let me say that you won't feel like this forever. The pain, the emotions that you're going through, you won't feel like this forever. They say something that's really untrue, that time heals all wounds, right? But I believe time and Jesus heals all wounds. And I think over time, we begin to look at things a little bit different. The pain that you're in today is not going to feel like this forever. And don't rush yourself through grief. Don't give yourself arbitrary timelines. Number 2, you can handle it even when you feel you can't. I want you to know you can get through this. I was talking to a friend recently that just had some devastating news. And they said, I don't even know where to turn. I don't know what to do next. And I said, listen, I want you to understand that God is your source. God has a plan. And there's a lot of people who are exactly where you're at, and they got through it, and you can get through it too. You can handle it. God will give you the strength. God will give you the grace to get through it, even when you feel like you can't. So just trust the Lord through this. Number 3, be gentle with yourself. Sometimes we come to a place where we think, oh, I should be so much better with this, or I should have already come this, and I can't believe that I'm so emotional. I remember years ago when my best 4-legged friend passed away, Max. He was the greatest dog in the history of the world. And if you have an animal that you think is better, I pray for your ignorance, because, no, I'm kidding. A lot of us feel that, man, our pets are so close to us. And Max was like my very best friend. And I remember one time when I was sitting in the home, this was like months later, and I wasn't particularly emotional. I wasn't thinking about Max. And my ice dispenser on my refrigerator popped out an ice cube. And now, I don't know why. I think my ice maker might be demon possessed, but every now and then it throws ice on the floor for no reason at all. And I remember when that ice cube came out in the past, Max would run over and scarf it up. And when that ice hit the ground and I realized that there was no one to pick it up, I just began crying. And I thought, oh, this is so ridiculous. I'm crying over an ice cube on the floor. Listen, grief is exhausting. So be gentle with yourself. Give yourself time to get through those emotions. Number 4, think in cycles, not lines. See, a lot of us want these timelines, right? We think kind of like a race. I'm going to start here and I'm going to end here, and it's this timeline that we're going to go on. But grief doesn't operate in a timeline. It's not linear. It doesn't kind of go like this. It's more like cycles that we go through. You feel good, you have a bad day, and you come back, or you're getting better, and then it circles around. And when you're thinking about the tires on your car, they're making circles, and the tire actually rotates and is back in the same position, but the car moves. So you might be going in circles, but you're actually moving forward. So think in cycles, not lines. Number 5, your feelings are normal. A lot of people think, oh, this is not normal. It is normal. The pain of grief itself is hard enough to tolerate. So what can make it more challenging is when you or other people around you tell you what you should or shouldn't feel, or what you should or shouldn't be doing at the time. Your feelings are normal. So don't let people try to suggest a timeline that doesn't work for you. Grief is a process. It is not an event. Number 6, grief can beget meaning. Sometimes, if you're really honest, if you look at some of the most beautiful paintings, some of the most amazing orchestrations and timeline is out of grief, where you're grieving the loss, and feelings come and emotions come. But what also comes? Clarity comes. You're able to find meaning. And sometimes in death, there's resurrection. And sometimes when something dies, it creates new meaning in your life. So understand that grief can beget meaning. It is something that we need to embrace. Grief is a natural response to loving someone. If you love someone, you're going to grieve, and that's natural and normal. So it has meaning. And number 7, and the last thing I want to share this evening, and again, I know there's a lot more. I can't give you like 7 steps and you're like, oh, thank you, Pastor. I no longer have grief because you gave me these 7 steps. I'm no longer in that situation. Number 7, you're not alone. You're not alone. There is so many people that are going through things. It was amazing that on Saturday when my dad passed away, I saw a lot of response and comments to me, giving me support and love. At the same time, I saw a lot of friends who also lost loved ones. You're not the only person that's going through this. You're not the only person struggling with grief in this moment. So we want people to know that we're still here when you're going through battles. As a church and as a ministry, we want you to know that no matter what you're going through, we're here for you. You're not alone. You don't have to be alone. You don't have to struggle with these challenges in your life. Again, one of the greatest resources that you could possibly have is something that we offer here at Celebration Church, and that's our grief share. And I want you to embrace that. You're not demonstrating weakness by saying, I need someone to help me. You're demonstrating that you're getting the help that you need. Something that I share repeatedly, and I believe in my whole heart, is there's an expression that we use that says it's okay not to be okay, right? And we say that, and it's like some kind of badge of honor. Oh, it's okay to be in pain or broken, and it's okay. It's just kind of the stage I'm at, and I embrace and I accept that. And the reality is, it's not okay to stay not okay. You got to get the help that you need. You got to make the progress, and some of that sometimes you can't do on your own. And while you're not alone, you need to surround yourself with people who understand, and there's people who love you and are praying for you. And in fact, if you're struggling with grief right now, I don't know who's watching right now. I don't know, maybe you tune this in now, or maybe you're tuning in later on demand and you're watching this and say, man, I'm really struggling and I have no one to turn to. Post in the comments. And if you say, I don't want to post in the comments, I don't want anyone to know what I'm going through, you could private message me. You could private message this page. It will go into our ministry page. It is not public. If you message us, the world doesn't see those comments. Only our church staff does. And we'll pray for you. We'll get you the help that you need. We'll love you. We'll connect you with all the great resources. Again, if you've not heard that wonderful resource, I'm going to say it one more time. Grief Share, led by our amazing Leanne Madden. It will be a great ministry and a help to you. So while this is kind of relevant in my life, I just thought I would share that with you tonight of how to cope with grief. I'm not saying that I'm over it or anything. I'm still processing it. There's certain things that I'm able to accept quickly and other things that I don't understand. And I'm just beginning the journey. My mom is saying Pastor Linda was great. Absolutely. Pastor Linda is amazing. For context, my mom, she's struggling and going through all of these challenges. And we have an amazing assistant pastor on our staff that was willing to reach out to my mom. And they had a wonderful phone call. So yes, Pastor Linda is absolutely amazing. She is thebomb.com. She is the real deal. She is so joyful and loving. If you don't like Pastor Linda, I don't believe you can get to heaven. I just think that's the reality. It's just, and if it's not, I think it's going to be like the 11th commandment, thou shalt love Pastor Linda. And she's just so awesome and sweet and the real deal. All right. Well, that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. For those of you who are ready to jump into our first steps, we have our last class tonight of our journey. So we're going to be beginning that in about 5 minutes. So all of you want to jump over to the First Steps group, and we'll be beginning there in about 5 minutes. So I'll see you there. The rest of you, I love you. Can't wait till Sunday. Listen, Sunday is going to be amazing. I'm sharing our 2022 vision for the year. It's Vision Sunday. Bring a friend, bring a relative, bring a neighbor, bring someone who's cold, bring someone who's hot. It's going to be a great day to be at Celebration Church, and I can't wait to share what I believe God has shown me for our upcoming year. I love you. God bless you. Again, have an amazing night.